planning a wedding is supposed to be a time of celebration, but for today's guest, that joy has turned into a flat-out war. Pat says her son's fiancé is not good enough for him because she's selfish, narcissistic, and trying to turn him against his own family.
When your child gets married, you should feel you're gaining a daughter. And instead, we feel like we might be losing a son.
I feel like I'm torn between making a choice between my mother and my soon-to-be wife.
I hope this marriage is not a mistake.
I love Steve with all my heart. He's the perfect mate. My greatest fear is that his mother's non-acceptance of me will somehow cause problems with Steve and me.
It's hard to back off and just let it go. So I write my letters and try to fix it.
I received a letter shortly after announcing our engagement. The letter said she and my father could not give their blessing for us to get married.
I cried when I read that she thought that I would not make a good mother.
My mother said she thought Kim would try to keep me away from them.
I felt that she was cowardly with her accusations because she did not come to us together to make them.
It concerns me that Steve asked for a prenuptial agreement.
The decision for a prenuptial agreement was mine. I believe it was DrPhil who said the person that you divorce and the person you marry are two different people.
If you feel you have to protect yourself, then maybe you shouldn't be going into the marriage.
If there is a divorce, then we're both protected, so I have no problems with a prenup.
Kim tends to be selfish and narcissistic. Steve was telling us he had won a trip to Myrtle Beach. My husband jokingly said, "I'll take it." And Kim jumped in and said, "Steve, I want to go," and immediately did not want Steve to give us that trip. The trip's not the issue. There's something else behind it.
If I barked back with his mom, I think that would cause even more problems.
To me, it feels like Kim is jealous. Why else would she vie for our time and not want us to be together?
His mother does blame me for him not visiting as much. It upsets me because I'm an easy target.
It does feel like a slap in the face when you see the one that you sacrificed your life for and loved with everything in you pull away from you. We wanted them to come to church with us at Christmas. I don't know if Kim was raised in church, so that's a big issue.
I don't think that it's very Christian to pass judgment on someone else, and I really don't feel like she's taken a chance to get to know me.
My mom's idea of a perfect wife for me would be the preacher's daughter.
I think my mother said it best when she said, "A daughter is a daughter for life, but a son is a son till he takes a wife." And I don't think that has to always be true. DrPhil, what should I do if this relationship doesn't get any better? Should I let them go?
Well, how do you answer your own question?
I couldn't let him go ever. He's my son for life. And I want him to be happy, DrPhil. I mean, if Kim is who he wants, that's who I want him to have, but there are concerns that I have. I feel like there's a gap between Kim and I don't know why. I don't want it to be there.
You've never really tried to fill that gap, though.
We've been together for 5 years. You've never really taken the chance to sit down and ask those questions
I know.
of me.
I was wrong by not coming to you directly. I didn't really know how to approach you. I did it through writing to Steve and hoping that would open up.
Yeah, but you told me don't let her read her letters.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Well,
She read it first. I gave it to you, and she opened
found
it
it.
before. I know, but she opened it before you did.
Well, let me read an excerpt of these void-filling letters. I truly believe if you marry her, you are headed for a heartbreak, and I love you too much to sit back and not warn you. Another letter. I feel she is jealous of your love for your family and ours for you. Letter 3, she's a very selfish person, Steve. Letter 4 goes on and on. I just can't stand by and see you get hurt. Women come and go in your life, but your mother and father will love you forever no matter what. How old did you say you were?
33.
You said something that I actually wrote down because I thought it was a really amazing statement. You said, she just doesn't seem to want us in her inner circle. You're headed for heartbreak. She's selfish. I can't stand by and watch you do this. I'm not sure I would want them in my inner circle.
No.
Well, I said all that as a result of things that had happened. And I was afraid, and still am afraid, if we don't get it resolved.
We
Yes.
get what resolved?
The issue with, I know Steve does not want to pull away from his family. If he does that at some point, he'll be sorry. I know he will.
But I would never do that. Why would I?
Oh, of course you will.
Of
course you will. How old are you?
I'm 33, but my family will always be in my life.
Sure.
And I would always care for them.
Sure,
But I would never pull away, like never talk to you again just because I'm getting married.
all right. I want to find out what Pat really has against Kim, and I'm going to tell Pat what I think it is, and then we're going to hear from Kim. We'll be right back. We're talking today about how preparing for the bride's big day can bring out the worst in family members. Now, we're here with Pat, who hopes that she can convince her son Steve that he's about to marry the wrong woman, or can figure some way that she becomes the right woman by her definition. What is your biggest problem with Kim that causes you to believe that your son is headed for heartache?
The main thing is just he used to be in church with us. I know Kim doesn't have a spiritual background, a strong one at least. Did you go to church as a kid?
I did, but I don't feel that you have to be in church every time the doors are open
No, I don't
to
either,
believe
Kim.
in
I
God
really
and be a
don't.
Christian person.
I don't either. I really
believe
don't.
it's in the way that you live your life,
Me
not
too.
with how often you're in the church.
Right, totally. I totally agree with that.
And you just think it's very important to be spiritually grounded and
Yes.
active. Well, then you should marry someone who is.
Yes, I know. I'm married to someone who is.
Yeah, so you've got that covered.
But the only thing you're basing it on is how often we're in church.
No,
How often did Steve go to
Okay,
church
whoa, whoa,
before
whoa,
we
whoa,
started
whoa,
dating?
whoa, hold on. Let's just assume she's an absolute heathen. All right? If that's who he's in love with, if that's who
there's
he's
nothing I can do.
chosen to make his life with, really, what business is it of yours?
Everything to do with my business. God made it my business when He gave me this young man for my son.
Here's the deal. You said I'm never going to leave my family of origin, which I hope is not true, because I read the Bible too, so I got a sneaking suspicion I don't want to get in a contest with you on what it says, because you seem to be fairly studied on that. But I do know that when you grow and you mature, both psychologically and spiritually, there's that tendency where the kids begin to break off. And I believe there's something in there about cleave
Right.
onto.
And He's supposed to let go of us and prefer her. And I want Him to do that.
But since I've let go, that seems to be a problem for you.
No, not the letting go. There's a problem. I don't know what it is between Kim and us, and I don't know why.
How is it that every time we come over for family get-togethers, there's never a bad word between any of us, but then in a letter a few months later, we find out that there are problems?
Because I guess I've been a coward in talking to you about it. I mean, honestly,
But
Kim,
why
I have.
act like everything is okay and fun and there are no problems and like you're hugging me, telling me you love me?
I do, and
all that when we're leaving, but then there's problems.
I want to love you, but I don't understand why you don't want Steve to do anything for us, to give anything
How
to
have I
us.
stopped him from doing that? We come over, we go pick you guys up
I'm
dinner
not talking
and bring
about-
it to you. We go ride
not
motorcycles
talking
together
about
all
that.
the time. Just because we're not in church with you
No,
guys,
I'm not
Steve, you
talking
want to come
that's
over
the
here?
problem.
I feel like a tennis match.
I'm talking about, like, for example, the bat issue. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
That
I
was
was
right
like,
after
why
you
did
wrote
you
a
want to
letter
hurt
talking
me?
about how I would not make a good mother. How do you expect me to react to that?
Well, because that happens continually.
Well, you do things when you're hurt and angry that
I know.
you don't
I wrote the
normally
letter
do
to
under
Dr. Phil when
regular
I was hurt and angry.
Yeah, and you know, I've got lots of your letters and things here, and you know,
Did I see those? He told me he threw them away.
Not all of them.
yeah. And you wrote some things, and you've said some things that I haven't referenced or repeated here, because I understand some things are said in anger and not reflective of everything else you said and feel, so I'm not even referencing those things here. I'm trying to fix this problem, not widen it. Look, no one questions that you love your son and you want the best for him, right? I mean, and you understand that I'm not suggesting that. And you've certainly been a good and loving and nurturant mother, and you've got to be really proud of the man that Steve has become. So that means you and Dad have done a really good job of this young man. But then we get to that part that you kind of put at the end of the sentence about you got to let go. And I want to talk about that and tell you where I think the rub is here. So we're going to talk about that when we come back.
When I announced my engagement to my mother and brought Kim over to show her the ring, my mom basically said, "Oh, that's pretty," and I expected her to be jumping for joy, and she was just kind of blasé about it. I think what was going on was she really hadn't voiced her opinion strongly, and now she felt caught with her pants down.
Well, we're talking about how a family wedding can easily turn into a family feud. Now, Pat revealed that she just basically doesn't care for or have confidence in her son's choice for fiancé, Kim. And they're only 3 months away from their wedding day. Now, look, you say that Kim is selfish and that you have examples of that. And you say it feels like a slap in the face when someone you've loved and cared for and nurtured turns away from you, right?
Right.
You said anything, no matter how big or small, that she thinks you want to give to your family, she wants it, even your time. I refuse to lose you without a fight. You want to know what I think? I didn't think you did, because you think
I do want to know,
but you think I
you're
don't.
making it look entirely wrong. You know, a lot of that was taken out of context, too.
Well,
It was.
if I fill in the context, it's going to get worse.
No, I said a lot of good things about Kim.
Even at break, you're telling me, hey, I got a lot of examples of her
Well,
selfishness here.
I'm not without reason for feeling this way is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but
I didn't just dream it up. We got along great with all of his other girlfriends because we got along. Well, I mean, we got along great. They didn't try to push us away.
Okay, but why?
That's not true.
If he would have put a ring on their finger,
We
would
got
it
along
still have been the
wonderfully.
same?
What were you going to say, Steve?
They did not get along great with all of my girlfriends.
Who didn't we get along with? Tracy said we were like mom and dad to her, and Laura loved us to death. I don't know anybody who didn't. I really don't. Who? They stayed at our house all the time and acted. Well, then maybe they were phoning. I don't know.
The person you would want me to marry right now, if I was to marry that person, I would definitely be divorced.
Well, I want you to marry who you want. I want you to be
That's what I'm
happy.
doing.
I know, but I want us to get along. I want Kim to like us.
I'm 33 years old, okay? I think I've made a lot of good decisions in my life.
Yes, you have.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. I watched all of my friends get married young, almost without fail.
I'm proud you waited.
Almost without fail, everyone is divorced. We've been together for 5 years, okay? And I know this is the right person.
Well, that's what
why
I want.
I asked her to marry me. We've been together 5 years. For 3 of those years, you've been hinting to me, when are you going to get married? When am I going to have grandkids? You've been dropping hints to me. So
I have.
yes.
Everyone's
many
been
times.
asking
Many
me.
times.
Well,
And-
I didn't want you to keep living together. If you were
And-
going to do that, I wanted you to get married.
And I finally, proposed. And it was a total shock to me when, suddenly you were not accepting me.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Y'all go ahead, and when we come back, I'm going to at least tell y'all what I think's going on. I don't know that they care, but I'm going to tell y'all what I think's going on. Kim, Steve, and his mother, Pat, are talking among themselves while I'm listening, but I wanted to give you guys some thoughts about what I really think is going on here. Your son's going to marry this woman in 3 months. I really think that you really are choking a little bit. It's kind of like, okay, he's really leaving. You said, we used to go on bike rides, we used to do all this kind of stuff, and now we call him and he doesn't have time to do that anymore. Damn her. She's taken his time away from us. He always has an excuse. He's got to travel with Kim. He's got to go here. He's got to go there. He's got to do this or that. That's right. He's in love with her.
I don't believe in blaming someone else for your kid's decisions ever. Steve, if he wanted to do it, he could. I'm not saying damn her. I'm just saying.
Really?
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying that every time we invite them, both of them, not just him, to do anything, there's always an excuse. And even if she's at work,
maybe twice.
Okay, but let me
he can't come without her.
Here's the thing I'm trying to say. You know what an invitation is? It's an option. You give somebody an option. It's like, we're going to have dinner. Would you like to come? That's different than saying, we're having dinner. Get over here. See, an invitation doesn't have an expectation of compliance. It truly is an option. And if you have an expectancy that if they're asked for dinner, they need to come be with y'all. Maybe they don't want to be with y'all. I don't,
that's fine if they would just tell us the
We
truth.
just went to dinner like 3 weeks
don't get
ago,
invited
and they
very
sat there and
often.
argued for most of the dinner over something to do with,
He wouldn't
their
let
business.
that go. You have to admit.
They argued about it for 3 weeks.
but
He wouldn't
here's
let
the
me out
thing.
of the restaurant until I agreed with him.
I was right.
Okay, these are two adults. He is going to have his own life, and it is going to cost you time with him. It doesn't mean he's going to love you any less, because I'll promise you, he has two very separate accounts. He has a romantic account from which he makes withdrawals to deposit to her with his love, time, attention, energy, effort. And then he has familial love that he has for you and his dad. Those are two separate
different
accounts,
love.
and taking something out of one does not cost the other. They're completely separate. You are going to get together with your wife, and you two are going to mold your own family, and this extended family is going to be a very loving support system, but this is going to be, there is no divided loyalty here.
She should be 100% first.
She's going to be.
I know. If it's a good marriage, she will be.
The sooner that you get your mind and heart around that and deal with the pain of your children moving on, which we all have to deal with. I mean, Robin and I just became empty nesters. Our last one just left, so we understand they go on. And it's like, now you call us, Jordan. Yeah, right, wham. I mean, I assume he is still alive somewhere in the world, isn't he? I mean, they go off somewhere. I mean, they do. And I think that you have trouble, I really think, not consciously, but I think you have anxiety about that. I think it's magnanimous of you to be here, given this. I really do, and I hope that the two of you, instead of you talking through Steve, I do hope the two of you will have some candid conversation. I think you did make a mistake there, and I think you can change that. But that doesn't mean you have to be called onto the carpet and given your marching orders across time. I think you two need to have a sharing as long as you feel good. But it is in large part your job to get along with her, and it is your job to get along with her, but not at the expense of your individuality and your independence. And there is no divided loyalty. I'll guarantee you, your primary allegiance must be with your wife. And if it's not, it will never work. All right, next. They were the mother-daughter at war over the details of the wedding. So was there a battle on the big day? We're going to take you behind the scenes of the wedding to see when we come back. We're talking about how wedding planning can turn into a wedding war. When Rachel and her mother, Jeanne, last appeared on the show, Jeanne claimed that Rachel's Bridezilla ways were destroying their relationship. Rachel says, "It's my wedding day and the bride is always number one."
If you looked up the definition of Bridezilla, it would say Rachel.
We fight over the colors, the favors, my hair. It's my wedding. It's all about me. It's bride and groom, not groom and bride, not bride's mother and family. It's bride, number one.
Isn't it true that y'all disagreed on just about everything?
Yes.
This isn't about the wedding. This is about a power struggle between the two of you. Your weapon is we're writing the check. And your weapon is, it's my day, I get to be the star, you have to do what I want because it's my day and I got you there.
She turns into a monster that won't talk to us about the details, hangs up the phone. She hung up on me. If she hangs up the phone and quits talking to me over little things, what's she gonna do when she's been married for a while? Hang up the phone on Todd?
Maybe if you treated me the way that Todd treats me, then I wouldn't do that. This is the chapel my mom wanted me to get married in. I want to say I do standing right here in front of that beautiful altar.
It's like, this is my day, and how dare you question what I want to do? She's acting like a princess want-a-lot.
You say, I'm paying for it, I get to make the choice. I'm the final word.
See, here's what I think has happened here. I think you guys have declared a battleground. And I don't think it started with the wedding. I think you've had a battleground long before you decided to have a wedding. But this is just kind of like old Civil War where they say, we're just going to pick a pasture and go out there and just shoot each other.
Right now, we're not talking to each other. She took all of my wedding stuff that was at her house and put it on the porch.
I told her dad, I don't even want to see her. I don't even want to talk to her. I'm not even sure I'm coming to the wedding. Go ahead, tell him you're not even sure you're inviting me.
Okay, I don't know where she's getting this from. She's just trying to be funny.
Why not? She told me that on the phone.
Why is it so important to you?
Because I've been dreaming about it since I was a little girl. It's something I've always wanted. And you know, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be me and my mom. It's not funny that she can sit there and I'm like upset and she can just, oh, I'm gonna be funny. Ha ha ha, let me play a little violin.
There comes a time where somebody just step up and say, you know what? I'm ending the conflict. I'm going to support what you want to do. Let's get happy. And if we want to argue, we'll argue after this is over.
The conflict between me and my mom went from bad to worse. Oh my God. They pretty much just booed me. That was like the first thing, that's when I first started crying.
And then at some little point, something happened that changed and it wasn't so lighthearted anymore.
She kept changing things so my dad wouldn't get mad. She blamed most of it on me.
I know she's upset, and I don't want to be upset. I feel protecting.
She said it would be nicer if we had the filet and the lobster. She said it would be better if we did all these things.
I'm not the enemy.
And I never said she couldn't come to the wedding. She just pulled that out of her and then to play a friggin' violin. I never said one bad thing about her. And I feel like she just totally slammed me. It really sucks. I think the relationship needs a mother that cares. And I need my mom to care about me.
Well, after they left the show, Rachel refused to speak to Jeanne and demanded an apology.
After the show, I was so upset and so mad.
I put myself in a very awkward situation to please her, and it backfired.
I didn't even want to be her kid that day. My mom pretty much said she was sorry that I felt that way. Sort of like, gee, I ran your dog over. I'm sorry that you're sad about that. I didn't talk to my mom for 5 or 6 days. Turns my phone off, I was done. I think the wedding was probably the straw that broke the camel's back of communication between me and my mom.
So I get the feeling there's like your version, and then there's the truth.
We knew that we had communication problems, but we didn't think that it was at a level that we needed to do anything about it.
I regret the times that she was difficult to work with. Despite the battles during the planning of the wedding, I ended up going to Rachel's wedding after all.
Today's my wedding day. I'm getting married.
I'm the mother of the bride. I can do whatever I want. I tried to stay out of Rachel's way. This was her day. She doesn't have any underwear.
Mother, please leave. It's not funny.
I'm not
Lack of
turning
breathing?
red. I am breathing just fine.
When did you get the chocolate stain on that?
You know what? You're really not funny.
Okay.
Ow!
That wedding, seriously, fabulous, gorgeous with a capital G. Now that the wedding is over, we realize that we have a lot of communication problems that we really need to work on. I'm leaving for Hawaii the day after the show. We're moving away. We've been living with my parents ever since the wedding. When we get into arguments, my mom just brings up the fact that I'm living here rent-free. Like the other day, we had to buy sandwiches. They were like, we don't have any money. I had cash. They were like, well, you pay for it. I'm all, are you gonna pay me back? No, you're living here rent-free.
When Rachel moved in, the deal was she was going to do the cooking and cleaning up the kitchen,
When I make dinner and it doesn't go with her internal clock, she's like, oh, it's too late, I can't eat. It just hurts my feelings. My mom is a second-grade teacher, so she'll enunciate and talk everything out to me properly, and it just gets a little frustrating. My mom wrote me a note asking that our laundry be out of the washer and dryer by 5, and it was, but did she put her laundry in?
We're in a puppy mess situation right now.
My mom was going to watch my puppy, but we received a note on our door this morning saying that she was unwilling to watch her.
Her dog is not housebroken, and we have to really watch it. If we don't, there's surprises we hadn't planned on.
When the washing machine gets off balanced, it is my fault. Please clean up the dog poop in the dog run.
When I think back to the conflicts Rachel and I have had, I've been saddened that we wasted a lot of time with lack of communication.
I know it's not too late. I know that we can still have that great mother-daughter relationship. We just need to know how.
Life is really uncertain and goes very quickly. Why waste time?
Next, the clock is ticking. Will this mother and daughter see eye to eye before Rachel gets on the plane to move away tomorrow? We'll talk about that when we come back.
I felt like what was done and what was said was extremely hurtful. If anything, she should feel bad for how it made me feel. This is the person that's supposed to take care of me, not the one to hurt me. And I felt like she went up there and just did something totally negative towards me. She felt that I did her wrong and I felt that she did me wrong. I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
We're talking today on how planning a wedding can turn family members against each other. Now, we're here with Rachel and her mother, Jeanne, whose power struggle to control the details of Rachel's recent wedding has really compromised their relationship. I personally don't think it has anything to do with the wedding. Rachel is about to move away for good as she and her mother struggle to settle their differences. You actually move tomorrow.
I get on the airplane tomorrow.
Yeah, and you're going to Hawaii.
I'm going to Hawaii.
And that's where you're going to live
That's where I'm going to live.
How long?
For 3 years for sure.
3 years for sure.
And we'll see after that.
When y'all have looked back at the things that you've been arguing about, the different wars over everything from what the wedding was going to include to who said what to who and who meant what when they said which.
Right.
How do you interpret that? What's your reaction to it when you watch it kind of synopsized on tape?
Well, first of all, my dog does pee on the ground, but not that often. Normally it's her dog peeing and blaming it on my dog, so my dog will get in trouble. I just had to clear that up because I saw the dog pedal. It's little teeny tiny things, and they're so silly, I know. But how do we not do that?
Do you know really? Because you say, I know they're so silly, but I mean,
But they're
we're
not
here
silly to
talking
us.
about which dog pees on the carpet the most.
But they're not silly to us. I don't understand why.
Okay, and you know, we can chalk it up to you being young.
Okay.
Okay? What's your excuse? You're the mom here.
You're right.
I don't
I'm
mean
the
you're old,
mom.
I just mean
Yeah.
you're the mom.
Watch the territory there, Dr. Phil. You're right. That's where we both recognize she's a young adult now on her own. I'm the parent, but I'm at a different phase. So we want to move from this point into better communication. When you look at it, it's silly, but we've made a big deal out of little things because it's a conflict. Instead of listening to each other.
Do you each think you contribute to the problem?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Because see, you...
No?
I'm realistic in what I ask her to do. It's when she doesn't want to respond.
What is it you think you need from your mother? What is it you're fighting for?
I want to know that I'm good enough and that what I do makes her proud.
Why is that important to you?
Because she's my mom. There's, you know, she's that one person that, you know, even if you mess up royally, she's there that says, you know, well, at least your hair looked good, you know, something like that. She's like that, you know, that person that you go back to, that safe everything.
Your daughter is saying, I need validation, confirmation, affirmation from my mother, and I don't feel it. I want it, but I don't feel that I have it. How do you respond to that?
It makes me feel sad right now to think that I haven't been able to provide that for her, because I've truly tried to be the best mom I can. The little conflicts we've had, the lack of communication for a long time, I think it's made it very difficult to cross that gap and make her realize.
Let me ask you something. How would she feel about herself if she was a fly on the wall and could hear how much you brag about her to everybody in your life? How do you think she would feel then if she could hear what you say to your friends, your coworkers, people
Like
at
a
the
Golden
church?
Globe winner. I am absolutely delighted with her.
You do it even with us. I mean, even in, you know, we're here talking about conflict, and so we do all these pre-interviews to get all this information from you, and you'll talk about conflict, and you just can't finish a conversation without just bragging on what a wonderful young lady she is and how delightful she is and intelligent she is and all of those things. You just can't be talking to somebody and not talk about how proud you are of her. Why can't you make her see and feel that? You can say it to other people, but you can't say it to her.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know why I'm not able to as freely say it to you as I can to all the rest of you.
So
I'm
say
not
it to her
sure.
now.
Rachel, I am thrilled to be your mom. You are an awesome person. I've known from the moment I saw you that you are just an incredibly gifted, talented person. Just lots of wonder and beautiful brown eyes. But babe, I'm sorry I haven't been able to let you know that.
Because you do feel it,
Very much.
and you do acknowledge it, you
Very
recognize it.
deeply.
Do you believe her when she tells you that?
I do. I don't have any doubt in my mind whether or not my mom loves me or cares about me, but getting the whole thing across is we need to put a bridge there so we can get that across. And I don't know how to get it there, and I don't know how to.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay. Okay.
What I want you to recognize is, number one, you are so much alike, it's scary. Okay?
We are. We really
You truly are. You are so much alike, it's scary. And so you approach a situation and you both are very opinionated about it. You both know in your heart that you're right, and you each justify it by saying, because I know it's right, it's the best thing to do. It's not just that I'm trying to control the situation. I want what's best for her. It just so happens that I know what that is and she doesn't. And so really I'm doing this for her. It's not for me. If she'll do it my way, she'll ultimately be happy and thank me later. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is an issue of control and maturity. When you fight about everything, you're fighting about nothing.
Right.
And what this has to boil down to is recognizing that you do have the similarities, and somebody has to step up and be the hero in this relationship. Somebody has to say, you know what? I quit. I absolutely make what I call a life decision. And life decisions are things you make at a heart level. They're not things you make at a head level. At a head level, you decide what I'm going to wear today, whether I'm going to take the car, I'm going to ride the train, whether I'm going to go here or there, I'm going to work out, I'm not going to work out. Those are head decisions. Decisions that you make from the heart are life decisions that define who you are. The things like honesty and integrity, caring. Sometimes you have to consciously choose to make a life decision. I've said on this show before, there was a time in my life when I was very combative with my father. He was an alcoholic, and I hated the way he was when he did. And we just, boy, I mean, it was just not good. And one day, I just decided, life decision, you know what? It isn't changing, so I'm changing. I made the decision, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm changing our pattern. I choose not to react. I choose not to engage. I choose not to go pout and be passive aggressive. I just choose not to engage in the negatives. And I made that life decision one day, and I can honestly tell you it never, ever happened again, because I realized I'd rather be happy than right. And you got to decide you would rather be happy than right. And if she goes off and does some things that young girls do, young wives do, young moms will do, all of those things that are coming up in her life, and she messes up, you know what? Just be there to help her back up when she gets back up. If she asks for your advice, give it. If she doesn't, write it and send her a note.
Oh, she's good at that.
One note. If she takes it, she takes it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And you've got to remind yourself every time you talk on the phone, every time you send an email, every time you get back together, you got to say, you know what, I've made a life decision. What I'm going to do is create moments to cherish.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.